Hello everyone and welcome to my 2025 highlight video. I feel truly privileged to be able to share this with you all for the fourth time. In this year's video, I'm very excited to have some tracks make an appearance for the first time, alongside those tracks of course that you would have seen in previous years. Hope you all enjoy the video. Here is my recap for the year 2025. Starting this list off at number 10, we have Electron Avenue. First of all, I want to thank Megumi for all the effort you put in showing me this track. During my time working on this, I expected this run to finish higher on the list, but as it turns out, this is one of my many runs this year that fell a frame or two short of a big sub. As much as I wanted the 253, unfortunately a bad injury to my hand really took the wind out of my sails. This time would be left at the 254 flat. Coming in at number 9, we have Android Alley. I figured, even though I'm not particularly happy with any of these runs, surely completing a time in all three categories was worthy of a spot on this year's list. All categories had their own challenges. The glitchless sub was one that I'd always wanted, so I was happy to achieve that. At the time of doing the NMG, I didn't fully understand the speed ghost, so it became a challenge trying to get one on each lap. And of course, the unrestricted. This started off very fun, but became increasingly difficult as the more I played, the more I seemed to lose track of where the respawn zone was. Number 8. Mystery Caves. This was a very fun sub, minus one small pickup in the form of that lap 3 fireball. I always had an issue with the shortcut, but after a while you do get a better feel for the turtle jumps. And then thanks to the help of Bros and Sejumi, I was able to get some good enough speed through the shortcut. Honestly, I would love to push this further, but as I suggested, that lap 3 fireball does put a bit of a restriction on the track for me. Number 7. The return of Ruse Tubes Unrestricted. Years ago, it was such a huge achievement for me, finishing a run in under 1 minute. My one regret being that I'd choked a run that was on pace for 58 seconds. So I found myself at a bit of a dead end this year and decided to play some unrestricted. I thought I should set myself the goal of achieving that 58-second run that I previously lost. The funny part was that I nearly ended up leapfrogging 58 altogether. For someone who doesn't fully understand the Poleswood tech, I feel as though ending up with a 56 is a very good time for me. Number 6, Oxide Station. I have to say, this was probably my most fun grind of the year. Oxide Station is hands down one of the best tracks in the game to time trial. My goal was to get a 234, but since I was enjoying the track so much, I decided to push it as far as I could. Eventually though, I hit a point where I played the track so much that I got a little mentally fatigued and came to the conclusion that after closing one more PB, it was time to move on. Number 5, Thunderstruck. For a track that I used to despise so much, Thunderstruck now comes close to being in my top 5 most enjoyable tracks to time trial. Its only knock for me is the cycles of those spinners, but the track moves fast paced and there is a lot of fun cuts. I want to give a huge shout out to Bros for teaching me the track in both categories. I wish I could do the big Nix cut better so I could skip those spinners altogether and push my unrestricted time as far as possible. Number 4, Spyro Circuit. I set myself a goal to try and achieve a second Titan in the NMG standards, but I quickly learned just how difficult this track is to shave time. I was completely stuck and came to the realization that I wasn't going to be able to do it. So I reached out to Martin, and thanks to him, the Titan once again seemed possible. The spiral was by far the biggest obstacle on this track, but Martin taught me how to not only make the spiral easier, but shave a lot of time. Now we have reached the top 3, starting off with Crash Cove. I never would have done this run if it weren't for two amazing friends of mine, Jasu and Versetti. Thank you for all the hard work you put into the glitchless category. Not only you did an amazing job with the rule set, but you gave life back to so many tracks. Crash Cove being one of them. My previous glitchless PB here was at 54, so my goal was to beat it by 1 frame. I was getting very good lap 1s, but I was really struggling to keep my course laps in the 9X. Until out of nowhere, I put two 95s together and closed out a glitchless run that actually beat my NMG time. This year's runner-up, Tiny Temple. Once again, I put 2 times together on this track that it's hard to pick a winner. I'm so incredibly proud of myself for not only getting the sub in the unrestricted category, but doing it without a good speed ghost. I had every intention of going for the glitchless sub too, but life kind of got in the way and I lost a lot of interest in pushing this any further. I'm so grateful for the support I received during my time on Tiny Temple. Maybe someday I'll return to finish where I started. Topping the list, finishing number 1 for the second time, is Sewer Speedway. Some of you may remember during last year's highlight video, I was working toward the 6x glitchless. At the start of this year, I achieved that goal. All year in the back of my mind, I'd wanted to try and have a go at closing an NMG run, when eventually, 11 months later, I was ready to get back on the Sui Speedway grind. During the first session, I was on pace to potentially get a new PB, and I didn't want to risk throwing the run by failing the Final Speed Ghost. And I ended up tying my PB. The next day, I once again found myself on a good pace, and I just had a feeling about it. Once again, I didn't want to risk losing the run to the Final Speed Ghost and close the run glitchless. I was so happy to have achieved another PB on my favourite track, and that's when I realised I would rather have a very good glitchless run than a potentially average NMG.